Hey everyone, so welcome back to video number 2 of 3 that I'm putting up this weekend as far as what we're using for our second semester homeschooling. So for second semester, we are in week 25 in our homeschool. We do homeschool 365. If you follow me here over on Instagram, you know that I do homeschool 365. We do take breaks at least 3 or 4 times throughout the year, and then there's some days where I'm like, okay, we're not doing any homeschool today. We're just gonna chill. Those days have been a little bit more often since we're in recovery mode here, but I just wanted to kind of get back on here to show you some of the books that Evan-Moor Publishers was gracious enough to send us for our second semester. Now, if you watch my 6 daily writing traits, the daily 6 writing traits video, I did tell you that I was going to be doing the daily language review, and I also wanted to show you how those 2 books kind of correlate with each other. And so I'll make sure that I do that before this video is over with. So if you've watched any of my daily reviews, you know that these books are done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and Fridays. I have also said in some of those walkthroughs that my son will do an entire week in one day. He'll do it on a Saturday or Sunday. This year we're switching things up a little bit. I'm trying to get him to stop doing that, even though he loves to just punch it all in one week, like on a Saturday or Sunday for for any kind of homeschooling that we need to do or review. So but we have not started working in this book yet because I was saving it for second semester. We've kind of been going back and forth as far as our language arts this school year. And so I'm just trying to find my happy place again with what we're using for language arts as far as our curriculum. But until we can make that decision, I do love the fact that the daily language review is here for us to keep his skills sharp. So as always, the Evan-Moor books correlate with your current standards. These books are great for test prep. There's grammar usage in here, capitalization, punctuation and spelling, word meanings, and relationships. There are 36 weeks of 10-minute daily lessons. Again, 10 minutes of daily lessons. And in this book, there are free bonus resource ebooks in here as well. And so let's just dig right into this book right now. So again, the daily books all basically work as in the way of they do a skill or they work on an area each day of the week. Again, like I said, my son, he tends to do 1 week in one day, or he'll do like 2 or 3 days in one day. So I just kind of let him decide what he wants to do. Now I do want to let you guys know that this particular book has the teacher component into it. Now with that being said, because I don't want you guys to get confused, because when you get on the Evan-Moor website, you will see the daily language review books that look like this. They're not as expensive, but I will tell you that the teacher edition book is a little bit different because it gives you a little bit more insight on what the kiddos are learning. So that is something you want to keep in mind. But if you have children where you have 2 kids that are working in the same grade, or you have a child that you need to bump down, or you have a child that you can possibly bump up, I would highly recommend that you grab the student book and then grab the teacher book, so you'll have both components, and then you can always make copies of the page inside the book. Or your other option is to try out the teacher file box. I talk about this box all the time. I talked about it in my last video. You guys should take advantage of it. You get a 30-day free trial for the very first days. This box pretty much pays for itself. You can do it for monthly, or you can just pay it out for a year. I always budget to make sure that my teacher file box is in my budget. So at the beginning of here, it'll tell you what's in the new daily language review, because this is one of the new ones, because it has some expanding resources that go along with it, which I absolutely do love. Now I will tell you that there is a daily language review, or is it language fundamentals? I can't remember. It's on my son's tablet app. So there's an app that they have to it. So Evan-Moor's got you covered all the way around. If your child is more of a digital child, or there's resources for that. So again, here's the breakdown on the book, that there's 36 weekly units in here. Day 4 is conventions of standard English, and day 5 is vocabulary acquisitions and use. So I do love that there is a separation of what is going to be covered from day 1 through day 4. And then on day 5, there's the vocabulary acquisitions and use. And then again, they give you all your additional features that you only get this in the teacher book, not in the student book. The skills and the scope of sequence, the progress chart, the new vocabulary log, and the answer key. I love and adore that. So this is one that we definitely are going to jump really into this second semester for him to work through. And again, they give you the how to use this book, how to reproduce activities, how to correct the sentences. I do love this part because I actually cut this out. There's one in the math one for how to solve word problems, and I actually cut that out, and I bought my son the 5-star folders. There's like a little clear pocket that you can stick stuff in, and so for his, I cut it down and I stuck it in that little pocket for him to review back and forth when he's working on his math. So again, here is a little bit of information and like a quick reference sheet for your student to cut out, and you can put it up in your classroom somewhere or put it up in a folder. And again, here is your scope and sequence of what your student is going to be working on each week. I love that you got your little dots that lets you know when that area of topic is going to be covered, when it's coming back again. What I usually do with this page is I usually slide this into my mommy binder, and I just keep it, and I usually just kind of highlight the things that he's gone through. You don't have to do that. I'm just a little extra. So that is a wonderful tool. And even this is really great if you have to keep records for your state. If you're homeschooling, you can just show them like, look, this is what my child has been working on. This is what we're working on right now. So they know, okay, they're hitting those marks. So there's no issues. All right. So here is a downloadable detailed skill list. And again, this is really, really nice. I really love that Evan-Moor has gone the distance and to kind of make parents have more insight on what their students are learning and have better details of the skill list and the tracking. I really do love this. And if you missed my last video, not the one with the writing trace, I did talk about the new homeschool planner that they have. Excellent tool to use. I love that tool. That is going to be my go-to for grade 4. I'm definitely going to be using that for grade 4 the upcoming school year, especially since we use so many of the Evan-Moor products. Here is a progress chart for your student. You don't by any means have to do this with your student. I love this. You can cut this out, stick this in their folder, put little stickers here, or let them stamp it so they can kind of track what they're doing. I love having little things like this to keep your students encouraged. And, you know, it's just a very fun way. I mean, they can draw happy faces as they recommend here, or you can get some stickers. My son loves stickers. He loves stamps. So I'll probably just let him stamp it out on whatever he wants to do. And I'll let him pick out his stamp and his stickers. And so here is a new vocabulary log. This is something that you can make copies of, and you can put this in their language arts folders or wherever you keep things like this for your student. I love that there's a vocabulary log. This is something that was not in the previous book, so I really do love that they have incorporated this. And you can not only record vocabulary words from what they find in this book, but vocabulary books when they're reading, or, you know, anything new that they come across, and you can put that there, and you can just, it's just a wonderful tracking tool for your student. And again, these extra pages that I've been showing you, those are only in the teacher book, so you will need to get the teacher book if you're going to do this. And on the Evan-Moor teacher file box, this page, this particular book will show up, and you will still be able to get those teacher edition reproducibles that you may need. So the same traditional fashion of how they're going to be working on things. Now, this is where I wanted to show you the comparison. So here you see that they're going to be working on correct the sentence. Now, if you did not watch my previous video when I was reviewing and walking through this book, you will see that in week 2, there is capitalization, periods, and all this sentence structuring that is going to be going over the first 5 weeks. If you look in this book, you will see the very first activity is going to be working on sentence structuring, capitalization, things like that. So these books tend to correlate with each other and basically complement each other. We have the grade 3 fundamentals book. We have the daily fundamentals book, and we have the language review, daily language review, and then we're going to be using the six trait writing book as well. So all these things correlate. So he's constantly seeing a repetitiveness of reviewing of what he has learned in those books. So again, short 10-minute exercises right here for your students to do. You can either have your student do them each day. These are great morning warm-ups for your student, just to kind of get the brain going. If you keep a morning basket, or we keep a knowledge basket, I tend to let him do things like this while I'm preparing breakfast or just getting ready to start our day in our knowledge basket. So great opportunity to do that. And here you have the same layout for each day. And then over here you have your day 5, where they're going to be working on those vocabulary building skills. And again, the activities are very short. They're only 10 minutes. So I really do love the fact that Evan-Moor has taken the time to, one, not make it seem like it's a bunch of busy work, 2, keeping timing in mind, and 3, making sure that it's not something that the child has not seen previously. You don't have to have all the previous books that I named, the 6 daily writing traits, the language fundamental book, but I highly recommend those books, especially the language fundamentals book. That is an invaluable tool. My son worked in grade 3 last year, and I refer back to grade 3 this year. I am going to get grade 4 because he's beyond that, but I've been using my teacher file box to pull down some of those grade 4 language fundamentals. So I highly recommend that language fundamentals book if you do not already have it. And I have done a walkthrough of that book on my channel, so you can take it out. So again, it's the same format every single week, and your students will get kind of used to it. I mean, they switch it up a little bit, so it's not like, fix this sentence. Is it a capitalized letter? Is there a comma? So they switch it up for your students, so they don't get like really, really bored. So, and then in the back of the book, of course, is the answer key. My child has never once looked in the back of any of his answer keys the entire time that he's been working in these. I don't even know if he knows they're back there. He might know they're back there, but he's just unbothered by them. And so you can take those out, or you can leave those in. So this is the language review for grade 3. Great resource. A lot of new additions that have been added to this book. So if you're familiar with the daily language review, they have done some add-ons for you. So be sure to check this book out on Evan-Moor's website. As always, I'm going to link this book in my link tree so you can directly go to it and you can check it out. Evan-Moor always gives you a huge amount of sample pages to look at, so you're not going into a book blindly, or you can take advantage of the 30-day free trial and you can check all these books out. So until the next video, I will talk to you guys later. Look out for video number 3. Bye.